This is the iPhone Air, and in this video, I want to share my real-world experience with the device. I'll be going through battery, camera, and what it's like to use and how it performs, and if it's worth getting one. Hey everyone, it's Andrew, and welcome back to the channel. I was so excited to try out the iPhone Air. For the last couple years, I've been a big user of the iPad Air, and I just love the concept of the Air lineup, MacBook Air, iPad Air, and now iPhone Air. I also had a really good experience with the 16E, which the device kind of seems like this is the premium 16E in a way, so I was really excited to try this device out. We'll go ahead and start with the design and get right into it. There's a few times in tech when a device comes out, you just have to tell people, you need to try it for yourself. You just have to get the device in your own hands. And for me, it was very much like that with the Apple Vision Pro. It's also like that with the iPhone Air. You just have to try it. It's so light in hand, it doesn't feel real, and it's insanely comfortable to use. Without a doubt, I think this is the best iPhone design that's ever come out. I know that's kind of cliche, but truly, if you look down the list of all the iPhones ever made, this surpasses the iPhone X for me, and it just looks incredible. The glossy titanium frame is just absolutely gorgeous. The phone only weighs 165 grams, which is super light. And after using the Pro Max for years, just going back to this after using the phone for a couple days, you realize how heavy those phones are. For perspective, the new iPhone 17 Pro Max weighs 233 grams. Which is pretty crazy. And the iPhone 14 Pro that had the stainless steel weighs 240 grams, which is just so heavy compared to this. It's not just about the weight though, it feels really evenly distributed, so it's never uncomfortable in any moment to hold. So if you're scrolling, watching a video, or just sending a message, so it just has that perfect size fit in my opinion. And because this is the thinnest phone ever, I know a lot of people are going to think that this is fragile, but it doesn't feel fragile at all. The titanium build is super strong. I had the 16 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max. Those phones felt indestructible, and this feels the exact same. It's gotta be one of the most durable iPhones ever made. It's also one of the most beautiful phones and premium looking phones. It's very funny to say, but this is an engineering marvel. Like how they did it is incredible. Like they didn't even have to do it, but they added camera capture as well. And it's just simply a beautiful device, like incredibly premium, high quality device. This is like peak Apple. Now, flipping it over, it does have a single camera with an interesting design and plateau. It's kind of cool. The camera ring has this shiny, glossy look to it, and I think it's a pretty nice color. I have it in the sky blue color. Thinking about it a little bit more, probably should have went with either black or white. I think those look better, but it's okay. It's a subtle light blue. In the back is a ceramic shield back. It's supposed to be more durable, and on the front you get ceramic shield 2, which is 3 times more resistant to scratches, which is great. I hate getting scratches on my screen. It happened a lot last year with my iPhone 16 Pro Max, so hopefully this is an improvement. Now for the display, it's a 6.5-inch Super Retina XDR display, and I think that 6.5-inch size is perfect. It's not like the Pro, which is 6.3, and it's not like the Pro Max, which is 6.9. It's that perfect middle ground of display that I think Apple hits it on the money. And what's great is there's no compromises on the display. So it's a Pro Motion display with 120 Hz refresh rate, and it's an always-on display as well. From the 17 all the way to the Pro Max, every display is pretty much the same. It also gets 3000 nits peak brightness outdoors, which is fantastic as well. And so if you're in or outside, your display is going to be visible and great, and it's got a little bit of an anti-reflection. Now getting into the battery life, battery is going to be the biggest concern here because it is so thin. You just can't fit a big battery into a device this thin. My experience with battery, it's not blow away crazy good like I'm experiencing on my 17 Pro Max, but it's not as bad as a device like the 14 Pro, which I had probably the worst battery experience of any iPhone I've ever had. So it's just good enough. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's terrible. I think a lot of people in the tech space online, like me, like an enthusiast, we kind of forget people don't use their phone as much as we do. We're on social media a lot. We're taking video and using our cameras a lot. I know it's weird to say, but some people, a lot of people just aren't like that. So it's very hard for someone like me with Pro Max experience to go, yeah, this battery life is amazing. It isn't. When you look at how thin this is, it's pretty good battery life. Let's be honest. I went out and did a day in the life video. There's a short video on my channel about it. I went to Disney for the day, and I started the day at around 9:30. So I got to the park at 9:30-ish, and it was at 98%. And I took a lot of video, I uploaded things to social media, I was on Twitter and using my phone normal. I used Apple Maps, took a lot of photos, used live activities, I used Apple Pay, and at the end of the day, around I think it was like 7:45, maybe 7:30, I had 3% battery. So that's not amazing battery, but technically in that kind of situation of heavy use, it was all day battery. At some point, you'll probably have to get some sort of MagSafe charging stand or MagSafe charger. Apple did release a new MagSafe battery pack that's only compatible with the Air, but I kind of can't stand that Apple did that because I kind of just want it for all of my Apple devices. I can only use that one on the Air or the Pixel 10 Pro, which is just so weird. So it's probably not the best option, to be honest. And that's why I have a really good alternative with today's sponsor, Torras. Meet the Minimag by Torras, a super sleek, slim, wireless charger that's perfect for the iPhone Air. It weighs only 115 grams, so it's not adding a lot of weight, and it's 0.3 inches thin. So it's also great for just sliding to a bag when not in use. The battery capacity is 5,000 milliamp hours with 7.5 watt wireless charging and 18 watts charging when connected via USB-C. Speaking of USB-C, why not throw in the Torras Flexline, a 2-in-1 retractable USB-C charger that's incredible for your Apple ecosystem. It features fast charging with low temperature and smart temperature control, helping protect your phone battery while charging efficiently. In just 30 minutes, it can charge your device up to 65%. And the best part of all of this is the unbeatable price. It's literally half the cost of Apple's MagSafe battery pack, and if you have the iPhone Air, this is a must-have. You can find the link in the comment section below. Thank you, Torras, for sponsoring today's video. Performance on the A19 Pro chip has been really awesome. I haven't had any bugs, and I feel like iOS 26, the liquid glass, was made for the iPhone Air. It just feels like the hardware and the software are destined for each other. Social media apps have been great. No issues with iOS apps or third-party apps. I feel like someone that is a digital minimalist or someone that just doesn't want to be on their phone a lot, but wants to have a good phone for a lot of years and performs pretty well, this is actually a pretty good phone for that. I do think if you're someone that's using your phone pretty lightly for text or calls, FaceTime, just watching a video or something like that, your battery is going to be okay. It's actually really good for that. I will say probably because of the titanium, there has been overheating, which isn't a good sign, but I recall with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, there were overheating issues and Apple addressed it pretty quickly with a software update. So hopefully we see that pretty soon. And maybe that will help with battery life as well. Camera and video have performed really great as well. And we might as well jump into talking about the camera. Putting myself into the shoes of other people, I would say the camera is probably good enough for most people. Here's some of my best shots that I've taken. And while the camera isn't bad, there's just not a lot to work with. You get a 48 megapixel fusion camera, so it's almost like you get 3 lenses on the back and an 18 megapixel camera on the front. A now center stage camera. It's been really good to use for like FaceTime calls and stuff like that, which is great. Also with the front camera and with the camera in general, you get dual capture, so you can record yourself and your reaction as well as what you're seeing. So I really like that. I tested that while I was at Disney as well. All right, so here's a test of the dual camera mode. You can see just walking around and has me and I can react and show my face, but also record what I'm seeing as well. So it's kind of perfect for vlogging and that kind of stuff. I don't know, the mic probably doesn't sound great. There's no microphone, this is just the iPhone, but what do you guys think? I also really like that I don't have to change my orientation. So if I have my phone in landscape, I can tap on this button here and it'll change it to a portrait or landscape, whichever way I want to record. So I really like that. It's actually helpful in this kind of setting where I also want to shoot some short videos while I'm shooting this one. So I'll probably be utilizing this throughout the day and more as a creator. So I really like that as well. Let's go. I'm gonna get you. Where is he? I'm gonna get you.
I'm going to get you.
He's coming. Where is he? So technically in this thin phone, you have 4 lenses, which is kind of wild to think about. You think about how thick and big the iPhone camera is on the Pro Max, and you get about a third of what's going on with the Pro with this camera. So it's not terrible. Now for video, you can shoot at 4K 60 FPS. What? But you can't shoot in Pro RAW. There's no ultra wide lens, and zoom is pretty awful on this phone. I was kind of disappointed to realize that there's no cinematic mode on this camera. As someone that is using cinematic mode right now while creating a video, it's very essential to me. A lot of people probably never even use cinematic mode. The video is probably enough for most people, and you can't shoot in spatial video or spatial photos. I do feel that these spatial videos is something important to me. I don't always take them, but I do like to catch memories of my son with it. And I imagine in like 10 years when I rewatch it, I'll probably cry like a baby. But this phone does not have that. But I also think it is a little bit confusing. You have the iPhone 17 that has 2 cameras and is cheaper. And you have the iPhone 17 Pro that has 3 cameras that's $100 more. And so for camera, it's probably better for you to either go with the 17 or the 17 Pro and just avoid the Air for camera. I would say if you're really not crazy into taking photos and you barely ever use your camera and you love the design of this is probably more of a device for you. But if you're creative like myself and you constantly, like even on family vacations, you like taking photos, you like editing your photos in Lightroom and that kind of stuff, this camera is not for you. The camera is probably the hardest sell for me. And I think a lot of people are gonna think it's probably on the quality of the 16E. It's better than the 16E, don't get me wrong, but it's probably best if camera is important to you to go with a different iPhone this year. Now for the speaker, on the Air, it only has 1 speaker, and it may just be me, but I don't really recall noticing any problems with it. Maybe I just don't use my normal speakers a lot and use AirPods more or use music on my Mac or something like that. To me, the speaker wasn't a problem. I've seen some people complain online that it is. I just haven't really noticed that big of a problem. I'll compare it to the Pro Max just to give you like the best compared to the Air. Now for the price, you get cool design, but less battery and less camera. Is that really worth it? And I feel like the premium quality of this device really outclasses the 17. The 17's pricing just ruins this pricing for me. It's just too expensive. There's no way that they could have made this cheaper than the 17. I think $1,000 for this is really expensive. And you're just losing a lot, like $100 more, you get so much more with the Pro. And $100 less, you get more as well with the regular iPhone. Always trade in your previous phone. Always try to get a carrier deal or something like that. Don't ever pay full retail price if you can. And honestly, 256 gigabytes of storage is probably enough for most people. If you're gonna keep this long term, we're talking 5 years into the future, maybe 512 is good, but I don't think you should get a terabyte for this phone. I don't think that's needed. So what do I think? Am I going to switch? And honestly, this has been a really tough decision for me. I haven't solidified which device I'm going to end up using, and I feel like this one, I want to give it like a 30-day test to see if I could do it full time. I've considered using the Air as my main device and then the Pro Max as my content creation device for all of that. I don't think battery life is as concerning for me because there's really not a time where I don't have a MagSafe charger or like the Torras Minimag around. It's just something that I always have with me. The camera though, I can't really change much, and even editing, I can't make the photos look professional. And so that's my dilemma. I could carry around two phones, but I don't really want to do all that either. And I kind of like the idea of having a more minimalist device. Less is more, and I feel like the Air is kind of perfect for that. So I feel like if you're a content creator, this device should be skipped entirely unless you're reviewing it, like myself. Someone also that just needs battery using their phone constantly throughout the day probably shouldn't get this phone either. I feel like this device is someone who's been looking at Apple, wanting them to do something different, and now you have an opportunity to try something different. This phone is different from anything that Apple has made in a really long time. So outside of a few compromises, I think this phone is really awesome. It's not for everyone. I wouldn't even say it's for most people. It's very niche. Something is drawing me to it, and I want to use it more. And I do have my eyes kind of perked up in excitement for the folding iPhone that's coming next year. If they make it this thin and premium, man, that phone is going to be awesome. So if you have the iPhone Air, let us know in the comments what your experience has been like, and whatever iPhone you have, maybe you have a good reason for not getting the iPhone Air, let us know in the comments below. If you found this review helpful in any way, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, thanks for watching, God bless, and I will see you on the next video.